We'll talk live with one restaurant owner in Lexington. He has two restaurants. One of them had to close temporarily. And we've heard from a lot of adults about the pandemic, how it's affected learning and so forth. Tonight we'll hear from a fifth grade student. She's from Salyersville. She'll be talking to us about what the pandemic has done to her and her family. The breakdown starts right now. Hospitals. Coming up, what one hospital system is doing to make sure they can serve people and have enough beds with COVID-19. You know, we've heard a lot from adults during this pandemic. Coming up, we'll get the perspective of a Kentucky fifth grader. Thanks for staying with us here on the CW Lexington. We'll take a closer look at the state's fight against COVID-19 in just a few minutes. But first, let's go to Chris. And Chris, that fifth grader we have on is from your hometown.
Right, I know, and Jim Caldwell as well, you know. So
Salyersville,
listen, you
represents.
cannot have enough Salyersville folks in here. That is, but she's going to steal the show anyway. She's going to be better than Jim and certainly myself, right?
I know you're proud of McGoffin County.
We are, absolutely. So looking forward to having her on the show coming up here in just a little bit. No, her parents will. Take a look at what's going on right now. We see 4 different sky cams. We are looking at Georgetown, Lexington, Pikeville, Moorhead. Now on WKYT.com and inside the WKYT News app. Up next, a young student's perspective. We'll talk with an Eastern Kentucky fifth grader about her experiences learning outside the classroom and how it's affected her church life and her family this year.
Nights at midnight on the CW Lexington.
The coronavirus has changed school, church services, businesses, and healthcare. And throughout this pandemic, we have heard from many adults on the challenges. But what about the children? How is this affecting them? Tonight, we have a special guest in the breakdown. Tiffany Hoskins is 11 years old. She's a fifth grader from Salyersville, and she wants to be a journalist. And she is the daughter of Rob and Molly Hoskins. Tiffany, welcome.
Well, thank you for letting me be here.
Yeah. Well, you know, you are our first child interview for this program, so you should feel honored.
Yes, I sure am. Thank you. I am truly honored, yeah.
Well, let's talk about school. Are you doing virtual learning right now, and how is that working for you?
Well, yes, I am doing virtual learning, and right now it's going great. I've had no trouble at all right now. I've really gotten the hang of things, but I've learned a whole lot about Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams, but I will admit this. At first, it was really tricky and hard for me because I was new to this. I had no clue what to do. And, well, it really was a rough time for me, but right now I am doing terrific. And one thing that I would also like to point out, another thing would be that we're halfway through the school year, and so everybody has really gotten the hang of things. We've picked up the pace a little bit.
Do you really miss, though, seeing your friends and being in a classroom and miss your teachers?
Absolutely, yes. I prefer to get direct instruction from my teachers, and I really do miss hanging out with my friends and just talking to them and seeing how they've been.
Yeah. What school do you go to?
I go to Salyersville Elementary School in Salyersville, Kentucky, right here.
You know, Tiffany, a lot of people, a lot of adults are wondering if the children that are going through this like you are getting not getting the education that you would get in the classroom. How would you answer that? Do you think it's up to what you get in the classroom, or is there something missing that you think is valuable?
Well, I think that there is a big difference, that's for sure. But right now, I mean, there is really, we've really learned a whole lot of things about this, and that we haven't had any trouble with our education. No, we have not.
Okay. I'm curious, do you wear a mask? And if you do, how do you feel about doing that when you're out in public and out away from the house?
Well, yes, we do wear a mask, and as long as it prevents the spread of COVID-19 and it keeps the others around me safe, then yes, we should wear a mask. And I want to give a big thank you to Governor Beshear for putting down all these restrictions for us just to keep us safe.
Okay.
So I really want to thank him.
Let's talk about church. I don't know what church you go to, but what has changed in terms of going to church and church services and your church life with your family?
Well, at church, I remember the very last time that I was there, and that was in March whenever COVID-19 hit us. And it was a really scary time, I remember, because I was looking at everybody and they seemed really scared and nervous. But after that, me and my family haven't been since. So that's been almost 8 months. And we have still kept in touch with our church family. And I would love to point something out here. Before COVID-19 hit, I had perfect attendance for over 5 years. I hadn't missed a Sunday.
Do you miss it?
Yes, I really do. And another thing is that I've noticed how school and church work in similar ways. Like, they've changed. Everything has. And I really do. Like I said, I'm missing them a whole lot, my church family.
Thanksgiving was last week. I'm curious if your family made any changes with what you normally would do for Thanksgiving.
Yes, we sure did. My family, we only had immediate family over, and we all wore a mask until it was time to eat. We social distanced, and we didn't give hugs because, well, we can't do that, or else we don't really want to risk the chances of getting COVID-19.
Well, I understand that you want to be a journalist and you want to take my job. Is that right?
Yeah, I sure do. I've watched the news for years, and I'm like, I really want to do that someday. Like, I look up to you and everybody on WKYT.
Yep. Well, of course, you know our chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey, and our meteorologist in the morning, Jim Caldwell, are both from Salyersville, so you would make number 3.
Yeah, I would, wouldn't I?
Well, Tiffany Hoskins, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. We hope that next year is a better year for everyone, including yourself. Have a Merry Christmas, and my best to you and your family in Salyersville.
You too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What a lovely young lady. Chris is back next, speaking of Salyersville, with your 7-day breakdown. And tonight on WKYT News at 11, a Lexington restaurant changing a Christmas tradition. How the owners are reacting to help people in need this year.
Facebook Live every weekday.
I just learned something about Chris Bailey.
What was that, my man?
In high school.
FFA boy right here.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, and that beautiful little girl's grandfather was my teacher. He was the advisor for my FFA.
so you know
staff.
the family.
I know the family well. Know her mom and dad really well. You know, grew up there, and
She looks up to you.
I appreciate that, and I think she's going to do a wonderful job when she starts here in a few years.
She got her start tonight.
And it may be sooner rather than later, right? the rate we're on with these kids, they're so advanced.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
More mature than I ever was at 11.
I know. Although, can this building handle 3 Salyersville people?
That's a
at the
good
same
question.
time?
So maybe Jimmy's got to go.
I mean, Jimmy counts for like 5 people. All right.
Yeah.
He's just off the charts with it. All right. Let's break down the 7-day forecast. Here's what we are dealing with as we roll into Thursday.
My final thought, we've heard from adults for 8 months. Let's not forget our younger citizens. We wanted to help give them a voice, and that's why we invited this young lady, 11-year-old Tiffany Hoskins of Salyersville, to be our guest tonight on The Breakdown. She aspires to be a journalist. Hopefully, we can feature some other young people. They have something to say, and we want to give them that platform. They are, after all, our future leaders. So glad to have Tiffany aboard with us tonight. That's tonight's final thought. Thank you for joining us tonight. For Chris Bailey, Amber Philpott, Dave Baker, producer Mitchell Grogg, and the entire WKYT News and production team, make it a great night. Remember, tomorrow brings new opportunities and choices. Have a good Wednesday night. Take care.